think the difference of a wook and a hippie is, because I thought it was a funny concept.
Okay, okay. I think I got this one for you. Okay. So, coming to you right now from the base bus, from a school bus, as a hippie hybrid wook, I think I'm the most adept as to answer this question of what's the difference between a hippie and a wook. Well, first off, that's a lot to unpack because the subcategories of wooks out there, like Chad wooks, dirt wook, wook shaman, a wookable, a wooklet. Man, there's just so much. Like I could go into. I should do a whole other video about all the different types of wooks because honestly, I could probably have a master class on wooks all day, every day. So hippies have their hair might be nasty and might be a little bit nappy, but our hair is not fully locked up, right? So you got hippies, long, natural hair. They eat, hippies really eat whatever they can, but they're more health conscious, more. The hippie and a wook are almost like two sides of the same coin, right? So a hippie and a wook will both eat whatever, right? But the hippie is going to go out of their way and they're going to do things like hustle and whatever, even if it's in their own hippie way, to get prime food. Sorry if it's loud. I got music playing. The fan is going. It's hot AF in this bus right now. Oh my god. Yeah. So wooks will eat whatever. When I was full blown wook living in Costa Rica, I'm lactose intolerant, and this little kid dropped an ice cream cone on the sidewalk floor on the ground, and I picked that thing up and looked straight at him, and actually I think his mom literally picked it up off the ground, threw it in a trash can, and I deadlocked eyes with them, and I pulled it out of the trash can. I scooped some of the nasty ice cream off and flicked it off, and then I ate that cone. You know what I'm saying? That's lactose intolerant. I was hungry, I was hot, I was wooked out of my mind. So I oscillate pretty heavily between super wook and hyper hippie all the time. So basically, hippie with the hair, more natural. Now wooks are like full feral, even more natural. They just let their hair lock up. So in the back, I got hippie in the front, party in the front. You know what I'm saying? This is like and then back here, I got locks for days right now. So, yeah. So hippie hybrid wook, it's hippie party in the front, ultra rager wook in the back. We basically out here. We doing it 100 trillion, 300%. We staying strange. We doing what we got to do to survive. You heard me say, you know what I'm saying? So, wooks borrow stuff. Sometimes even with asking. Hippies just kind of take stuff without asking, but that's more rare. It's only like if they really need it down and bad. A wook will literally just see something that's shiny or just like think they need it or they just want it, or sometimes they just grab it and they don't even realize that they put it in their pocket. It's just like subconscious second brain math. They just nab it up and put it in their pocket just because they probably thought it was theirs. Honestly, they're probably so spun. So the hippies and the wooks are going to be probably equally spun at the event, but whereas hippies are going to lean towards the more natural stuff, as long as it's free. They'll do other stuff too, but they're looking for the stuff that's natural off the ground. The only other thing that they do besides that is 3-letter acronym, and I'm not talking about. Anyways, they want the natural stuff. So the wook will basically take whatever. So a slightly key difference between wooks and hippies is that basically hippies will take off their clothes and like be less clothed just based on how that's a choice. Wooks will just end up clothes with no clothes because they lost their clothes. Like they took them off in some sort of panic. They got super elevated. They thought they were set on fire. Maybe they were on fire. Really, there's not much of a difference between hippies and wooks. I mean, honestly, It's a generalization, but it also depends on like what, like there's different types of Wooks. There's different types of hippies. There's granola hippies. There's hippies that are pseudo spiritual, and there's hippies that are like, you know, they're vegan and they act that way to try and get and pick up hippie chicks. Those are the worst hippies. Pseudo hippies, like pseudo Wooks are all right. Honestly, I'd rather deal with a pseudo Wook any day of the week. A pseudo hippie, especially the man bun bro that's like a meathead bro that has now become hippie so that he can pick up on yoga chicks, is the most disgusting Chad hippie, pseudo hippie. Now a Chadwook is almost just as bad, but at least they party. So at least the Chadwook is like, you know, probably gonna be vibing with you and probably like a vibe, you know. This clip, this video was meant to be like 40 seconds long. Honestly, there's so much to unpack with this. I could have a master class about the different types of hippies and Wooks forever, you know. I come in contact with a lot of them as a really true-hearted, true-spirited hippie and Wook. I'm a type of Wook that doesn't even just borrow stuff. I actually provide things, but that's because I'm a hippie hybrid. So because I'm a hippie hybrid, I basically get the best parts of all the hippie and the best parts of the Wook with none of the drawbacks on either side. Now, a lot of people would probably tell you I'm the worst hippie and the worst Wook. That just means I'm winning. So big ups to all the haters out there, because yo, you know I'm out here. I'm already getting it. So what's up, fam? Yeah. So basically, I could get into the deeper lore too. Basically, Wooks are like really hairy, unkept. Like hippies have an aesthetic and Wooks don't have any style. Their style is basically just thrifted, gifted, or found. Honestly, us hippies and Wooks both survive off ground scores. Somehow, us Wooks are just able to manage like a low tier ground score into like an Airbnb, a new van, like hella grips on all types of sauce. So I mean, the difference in opinion is that, you know, Wooks are more lazy, but like Wooks are also more connected. They're more savvy, and not even trying to be. They're not even trying to come up. They're just like living their life, and we just do life better. That's what's up. We eat food out of the dumpster and the trash can. Literally no moral shame. We do not care. We're all still getting into heaven or hell, wherever the biggest party's at. Honestly, we don't care. Hippies can be really shanty. Like, honestly, their music taste is like a Wook's taste in music is just like, as long as it's vibe, as long as we can rage and just get elevated, that's what's up. We don't really care if it's bass, drum and bass, side bass. You know, as long as there's bass involved in some aspect, there's got to be bass, honestly. Hippies can do with less bass. I'm not one of those hippies. I'm not one of those hippies that can just live with less bass. Honestly, there's so much to unpack. Like I've said, you're probably not even watching this video, and if you came this far, I literally don't know what you're doing with your life. But check out for a part 2 at some point. I'm gonna break down. I broke down a little bit. I'm gonna honestly need like a whiteboard to break down the difference between hippies and Wooks. But I'm gonna do a breakdown on the different types of hippies and the breakdown of different types of Wooks. Because honestly, I thought about doing this because I got a Wikipedia, a Wooktionary in the back all day. So, oh, I really don't even know what's going on anymore. But yo, bless up to all my Colorado Wooks out there. They probably know this music. Some Colorado Wook bass. But yeah, dude, a lot of us hippies and Wooks, we all migrated away from California and away from different places that we used to be. We still thrive and take over the West, but basically the West has just grown from like Washington to Guatemala and in Central America, and then we're like as far west as you know, the Rockies, Colorado. Bless up, yo. Hippie hybrid Wook out. Bless up, fam. If you watch this far, I feel sorry for you.